In the Valorant community, there's often a lot of debate surrounding the practicality of aim training and even the importance of raw aim as a whole when it comes to ranking up. In this video, I want to talk about my experience with aim training and how it helped me improve at the game. At the end of the video, I want to tell you guys about a conversation I had with a Radiant player where he completely changed my perspective, so be sure to stick around to the end as what he said is really valuable information for people like us who want to rank up as fast as possible. If you don't already know me, I'm Corey, an Ascendant player with crazy dreams of playing collegiate or even semi-professional Valorant. I'm in my last year of high school in a race against the clock, so if you are interested in my progression, please just do all the algorithm things like commenting, subscribing, and even liking the video. I really want to take this thing full time, and every bit of help I get means the world to me. Anyways, over the past few weeks, I've been aim training almost non-stop, logging over 70 hours of KOVAX in just 3 weeks. This psychotic amount of playtime has transformed me as a player. However, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, because as an aim trainer player, I'm pretty passionate about this topic. You see, there are many casual players, coaches, and even professional players who claim that aim trainers are not effective for Valorant and a complete waste of time. From what I've seen, this sentiment stems from 3 main reasons, and I want to explain my opinion on the matter as someone with over 400 hours in aim trainers and 1600 hours in Valorant. These people honestly kept me doubting myself on aim trainers for years, preventing me from committing to it all this time, and I don't want these misconceptions to make you feel the same way I did, so let's get right into it. The first reason why people don't believe aim training is effective is most professional players did not have access to aim trainers while they were up and coming. This is fairly obvious, and I don't think I need to explain much. KOVAX and aim labs came out in 2018, and most of the current pros were already at a high level by then. It should be pretty undeniable that for pure mouse control and raw aim trainers are the most effective method in developing them. Pros might not have needed to aim train because of the sheer hours they put into the game, but if you are trying to catch up to them as efficiently as possible, I believe that aim trainers are a useful tool. This leads into the second reason, where people witness their friends or members of the community using aim trainers ineffectively and coming to the conclusion that aim training is useless. This is also pretty simple because the way I see it, aim training is only effective when the following is done while training. 1. You're pushing for high scores every session and for most scenarios. 2. You're playing scenarios that are appropriate to your skill level. And 3. You're practicing every aspect of aim. That's about it, and honestly, like 90% of people achieving no results with aim training are not doing these things. Don't worry if you're confused about any of these points. I will explain effective aim training in a future video, so if you have any questions that you want me to cover in that video, comment them down below. The last reason I see, and the one that I think is actually fairly reasonable, is the downplaying of raw aim in Valorant. This stems from the fact that most kills in pro play or high elo rely on good crosshair placement and movement rather than raw aim, and I really do agree that crosshair placement is more important than raw aim. However, unless you have the awareness of an omniscient god, there will be times where your crosshair placement is off, and in these moments you need to have a good level of mouse control to fall back on. This is like telling a boxer to only focus on their technique and efficiency while not pushing their physical stats. In Valorant, crosshair placement is like your technique, and raw mouse control is like your physical stats. A good player will need both. Hopefully after my explanations, you can understand why I don't think aim training is useless and why I feel like it can be a useful tool for practicing. Alright, so before getting into the last section of the video, I want to just talk about my experience with aim training real quick. Stuff like, how did I train? Did it help me? And in what ways did I feel it affecting my gameplay? And to sum most of it up, I found aim training extremely beneficial to my gameplay. I started aim training while I was too sick to go to school or even Q ranked, and because I had so much time at home, I put around 4 hours into KOVAX every single day. I went from gold to jade complete on the Voltaic benchmarks in around 3 weeks, which I personally think is kind of good. I didn't play any fancy playlists. I used some of the scenarios found in the Voltaic daily improvement method or even harder variants just from searching it up, and I just played a lot and found what worked for me. This last part of the video will cover a conversation I had with 𝐁𝐬𝐬𝐬. He's a Radiant player who peaks 789 RR, and he basically opened my eyes and explained that I'm overvaluing raw aim. Despite trying my hardest to defend my beliefs, I think that he did a pretty good job at convincing me, and I want to share some of what he taught me with you guys. So in his perspective, you won't often see flashy highlight reels from pro players where they make insanely large flicks, because not only do these not work at the highest level, but these pro players have a level of awareness to the extent where large flicks aren't needed at all. In essence, mastering pre-aim and passive aim is the priority, and the only type of aim that you need is good micro adjustments and click timing. Now, I think it should be mentioned that micro adjustments are still raw aim, and aim training consistently will improve this type of aim, but his main point was that I was over relying on raw aim. and I agree with him here. I tried to find some pro highlights in order to disprove 𝐻𝐬, but in the clips I found, pro players used their raw aim in 1vx clutch situations where they were double swung and their opponents whiffed. These clutches were unwinnable had the other team played them correctly. So when it comes down to a perfect player against a perfect player, the aim required for the kill will always be a micro adjustment. And in a situation where large flicks are actually viable, such as in a clutch, they only work when the opponents whiff. So against a perfect team, you would still die. Basically what 𝐻𝐬 was trying to say is that raw aim is pretty much useless unless the opponent fucks up or unless you fuck up by having poor crosshair placement or poor positioning. If we are striving to become a perfect player, then we have to realize that ideally most of our kills will come from positioning and awareness rather than aim intensive actions. Losing a gunfight due to bad aim is most likely a result of poor pre-aim or positioning, and aim should almost never be blamed. However, we aren't perfect players, and we will always get ourselves into situations that require good mouse control. And this is why 𝐻𝐬 doesn't say that aim training is a waste of time, or to stop aim training. Rather, he just informed me not to overemphasize its importance and to keep practicing pre-aim. Although it is a bit embarrassing, I will admit after aim training for so long, I ended up lightening up on training my crosshair placement. And of course, I will be practicing a lot more from now on with death matches and custom games. I'm really excited to come back to you guys after being so sick, and I have some progress updates. I am Ascendant 3 right now, and I'm pushing for Immortal. My next video will be another Yap type of video, but I hope to get some more gameplay style videos out as soon as I can. There's some videos on the screen right now, bro. You can click them. Thank you so much for watching.